Something is happening right now. In about 3 weeks, it's going to hit the news. And the numbers on this thing are absolutely staggering. There's either a lot of people paying a lot of attention to it, or you're not paying attention to it at all. What is it? It is Elon Musk's SpaceX. It's about to go public, and the numbers on this thing are just freaking incredible. It's going to go public on June 12th, about 3 weeks from right now. They want to raise, are you ready for this? They want to raise $75 billion in the company's IPO. And what's the valuation of the company? Well, they say it's between $1.75 and $2 trillion. Trillion dollars. And let's put that in perspective. It is going to be the largest IPO in history. I've got some numbers here. I mean, this is bigger than Aramco. Saudi Arabia's Aramco, the oil company, went public in 2019. It's bigger than Alibaba's IPO. It's bigger than anything we have ever seen. And here's the part that directly affects us regular Americans. 30% of the shares, about $22 billion, are going to be allocated to retail investors. That means everyday people. That's not just hedge funds and institutional type money. This is everyday people can buy $22 billion worth of SpaceX. Wow. So the question really that I want to kind of walk through is, should you care about this? And if you do, what does it really mean to all of us? By the way, I'm Scott. I do these casual walk and talk type videos about money, the economy, jobs, the market. If this is your kind of thing, please subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know if you even care about this. And I know Elon Musk is a controversial subject. This isn't really about him. It's about SpaceX. But let me know in the comments what you think. So first, let me quickly explain SpaceX and really what it is as a business, because I don't think most people know, and I didn't know details about it until I started doing a lot of homework. Really, everybody thinks about it as just a rocket and the association with Elon Musk, but they don't really know how the company makes money. SpaceX essentially has two components to the company. First, the rocket. It launches rockets for governments and for customers. They put satellites into space, cargo, astronauts, and 80%, I didn't know this, 80% of the global rocket market is owned by SpaceX. It's not a typo. It's 80% of the rocket market is SpaceX. It used to be NASA. It used to be other small contractors. It's now SpaceX. That's huge. I mean, they're like the UPS of space. They're FedEx of space. And here's their second business for SpaceX. It's actually more interesting in financially making money. It's Starlink, their satellite internet services. And they have, I didn't know this, but they have 10,000 satellites in orbit right now. 10,000 satellites. And they have 10 million subscribers globally. Wow. And they provide internet to, not only the US, but places all around the world that really couldn't get reliable internet before. Now, combined, SpaceX does about $18.7 billion just in 2026 alone. $18.7 billion. Starlink alone did $3.7 billion just the first quarter of this year. So this isn't a startup that's just burning cash, and it's a real business, a real profitable business that honestly didn't exist 15 years ago. Nobody heard of SpaceX. It wasn't even a concept. It was something that Elon Musk, as crazy as he may be, he's not too bad at putting businesses together. So let's go into the context of the IPO, okay? So here's where things stand right now. SpaceX filed its paperwork publicly, their official documents that they have to do to actually go public. The other day on May 20th is when they filed their paperwork. So they're formally marketing to investors on June 4th. Pricing, they're trying to set the price per share, which is expected to go on June 11th, and it's supposed to start trading on the NASDAQ on June 12th under SPCX. SPCX is their ticker name. So their price per share, you ready for this, is going to be between $525 and $530 per share. That's what they're targeting. That's the valuation that they're targeting. Now, here's where it really gets interesting for regular people. Typically, an IPO like this, it's about pension funds, it's about hedge funds, it's about big banks, and they typically get the majority of the shares. And regular investors and retail investors and you and I are kind of an afterthought, or we pick up the scraps. This one is much, much different. This is about 30% of the total offering. It's going to be available to regular investors. Retail investors is what they call it. Like, this is everyday people with brokerage accounts. Everyday people like you and I can go in and purchase these shares. They're not off limits. They're open to us. That's roughly, in this valuation, that's roughly $22 billion of shares. $22 billion of shares. It's a number I can't even fathom. That's so many zeros. Wow. So it's being called one of the largest retail IPOs in history. And if you've got a Robinhood account or a Fidelity account, a Schwab, or whatever online account you have the opportunity to participate in this one. If you choose. But here's the honest question. Should you purchase SpaceX shares? Okay, here is the part that I have to be honest with you, and we have to think about the details of what's going on so I don't make a mistake and you don't make a mistake. And put down in the comments if you think this is a big mistake. There's a lot of hype around this IPO. I mean, the hype is enormous in the financial sector, and I get it. SpaceX is generally a remarkable company that is a real business, like they're making real revenue, and the market position is really, there's no competition for them, no real competition for them. But first, the valuation, $1.75 to $2 trillion. That means essentially you're paying 100 to 125 times the company's annual revenue to own a piece of it. Like Amazon and other tech giants did something similar, so this isn't crazy, but a lot of future growth is baked into these numbers. So we're not going to be buying this at a discount. We're going to be buying it at what they think it's going to be worth down the road, really in about 10 years. But if these projections miss even a little, the stock could take a hard crash, and pretty fast. So second, IPO history. Here's something that doesn't really get talked about a lot. Most major IPOs actually drop in value in the first few months. After they go public, they tend to take a nosedive. Like after the initial excitement fades, institutional investors start to get out, they start selling, the stock starts finding market level is what they call it. So some of these drop 30%, 20%, 30%, 40%. And actually Facebook, after its initial IPO, dropped 50%, becoming where it is today. Now, that doesn't mean that SpaceX is going to do that. It might go up from day one. We just don't know. I mean, it could go up like a rocket and never look back. But if you look at what the rockets have done, many of them have crashed. Like before it got off the ground, Elon Musk was on his last couple dollars. We just don't know. We're dealing with things that we've never dealt with before, and we don't have a lot of history. Who knows? We just don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you'd rather let the dust settle a little bit than jump in day one. And third, this is kind of what I feel the strongest about. Like, don't make a big financial decision based on hype. Like, if you believe in the company, that's one thing. And if you can afford to invest and sit on it for 5 or 10 years, that's fine. That's reasonable. But if you're thinking about quick fix, if you're thinking about moving money, if you're thinking about making money from day one, that's kind of where I would pump the brakes. I would give it a hard no. The history really is the biggest thing we have to judge these things on, and they're littered with companies that have had a lot of hype and kind of dived in the first couple months. But the excitement is real, but the risk is also real. Okay, well, here's the part that I generally find pretty fascinating. Like, whether you buy stock or not, SpaceX is going to be part of a bigger wave of companies, tech companies, the economy. Like OpenAI is a company that's going to go public shortly. ChatGPT, another company that's going to go public. And they expect ChatGPT to go public maybe the end of this year, 2026. So Anthropic, another AI company, is talking about going public at some point soon. So we kind of have this period where a lot of tech companies and AI infrastructure and all of this stuff is going from private to public. Now, most of these companies are private right now, so they don't have to share any details. They're burning through billions of dollars of cash, and now they're going to have to start pricing themselves for the market. And that's kind of what matters in this economy. Like, we've got to go beyond the stock price and see what the companies are doing behind the scenes. Like, right now, they're sucking up the best engineers, the best equipment. They're trying to take everything they possibly can to make themselves look sexy and get some traction. But when they go public, we get to see the real financial picture. Who's making the money? How are they burning the money? Is it actually worth it? Now, what we'll end up seeing is transparency. And it's going to tell us a lot about the economy, not only the companies, but really where is the economy heading? And are these big bets worth it? Or are we dumping a lot of cash in things that will never come to play, will never be profitable? This is going to be interesting. Like, this could be a tech bubble, could be a tech burst. We just don't know until we start getting some transparency. So SpaceX, June 12th, biggest IPO in history, a real company with real business. But don't let this emotion, don't let this moment push you into a decision that doesn't fit you financially. Like, watch your financial situation. Don't get wrapped up in the hype. It's easy to do so, really easy to do so. But drop a comment. Are you buying, or are you going to sit this one out financially? I'm curious on where people land with this. I read and do my research, but I want to hear from everybody else. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.